This episode of Gundamn at MAHQ is brought to you by Petco. If you have pets and you'd like to give them the very best, head over to petco.com. And for any purchases that are $65 or more, you can save 10% off your purchase and also receive free shipping if you use the code Gundam or if you go to petco.com/Gundam. For any purchases that are under $65, you can save 10% just by going to petco.com/Gundam10, or you can use the code Gundam10 during your purchase. Like me, the majority of you guys out there have pets. Well, if you're looking for food, supplies, and even treats and toys for your pets, the best place to go is Petco.
Killing me won't bring back your damn honey! Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
Welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. For our next panel segment, we were able to attend the panel for the next upcoming season of Smallville. For those who are fans of the show that are currently watching the show, you might get some information out of this. They showed the trailer for the next season, and it was a Q&A session with some of the cast and crew of the show. And I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back.
Season 2, 3, and 4, I was lucky enough to be on. It's cool listening to the show on the network, Smallville. I had so much fun working on that show that when the guys asked whether or not I would come out and moderate this panel, they could not even get moderated. I was already at mod. You guys can come out, I mean, look around this room, guys. You are the reason why this show is on for 8 seasons. It is absolutely amazing. You really should get yourself in. You are really the best band in the world. So I'm going to introduce you now to the guys that came down here. There are going to be some new faces that you guys are absolutely going to love, and then I'm going to introduce you to the executive producers and the guys that have really been responsible for launching the show and started at the same time that I did, and then it carried it all the way. So without further ado, I'd like to meet Cassidy, who's one of the first new people that are on the show. She's going to play Tess. So she has Cassidy, come on up. Some of you are probably going to know from Battlestar Galactica, Sam Vaughn out here. He's one of the new villains this year. And one of my own personal favorites, the gentleman who plays Green Arrow. Now I want you guys to get up on your feet. It's the reason why I just absolutely adore Chloe, and this is... I think if you guys are fans of the show, and I know that you are, if you go back and you look through the credits of the writing of the show and the producing of the show, there are 4 names that stick out throughout season. These are the guys that have brought you the stories that you love. These are the guys that have produced the episodes that you love. And the reason why this show is as good as it is Todd, Darren, Kelly, and Brian. I'm going to turn it to a second here to Todd Slock, and I think has something to tell him.
Today, thank you first for coming out, you guys. You're here because of you! All of you! Those who not class A cares on themselves because of the fans, and we appreciate everything you guys have done and all that you've watched. And today, we are going to give you a sneak peek at our first 2 episodes of Season 8. You're going to love it. I hope you love it as much as we do. We're very, very excited about this season, and let's watch.
want me to say that, start thinking about me as long as just your boss. There's a little leftover business about it, You've got a long career ahead of you. And whatever it is, it can kill you.
Amazing guys. Before we start, my understanding is that Allison, you have a message from somebody very special for you.
Yeah, I just, on behalf of Tom and Eric, both, they wanted me to send you guys their love and say thank you so much for all the support. They're working crazy hours out there, as always, and so unfortunately they weren't able to jump on the plane and come down with us, but we just want to send them love and thank you, and just know that we appreciate everything you guys do for us tonight.
I'm also very special people that are out here and throughout this movie and writers of your show that are out there. You guys are here. All right, I think so for most people somewhere here, there is a microphone for questions. Down here, okay. So if you guys can queue up online, and I'll do my best to be able to do really strong like this in my case. That's the reason I'm saying yes, young man. There's definitely one of them forgiven. You can state your name first, and then direct any questions to me. You have any questions? Or first not right.
And in that room you said, no gates, no crime. I'm not that interested in the gates. That is the no crime still a room part?
I think it was no text, no flex, as I recall. So let me So Brian, why don't you take that first part of that and tell us about what's coming out in season 8 with no text, no flex.
We've been working with them
You guys hear it, Brian? No! Zero. Alright, can you hear me? Alright.
As you guys know, we've been working with them on Mouse for like 6 or 7 seasons, and everything that they wanted in the show is so ingrained in our heads, we think about it at night when we're sleeping and dreaming. And so what we can say is we're going to hold to the no text part of that.
So I'm next. Hey, Jamal.
I'm kind of tired of the fact that Clark always needs some sort of kick in the pants from somebody, usually Chloe.
But how much do we love Chloe, man? Any questions?
Yeah, how much is Clark going to develop some sort of aggression or...
Are you trying to get me out of the job?
Is Clark going to show some sort of, testosterone or story?
Let's ask the answer.
You know what they say about making a great man is always a great man.
Cassie, you're new to the show. Are you going to be just confident question?
I was going to ask the same question on the flying, but I'm more or less interested in this guy.
Hang on a second. I want to hear from Cassie.
I want to kiss Chloe.
Obviously, a lot of questions.
It's more of a suggestion. You just, towards the end of the season, whenever finally gets finished, you just do something before it being super. I mean, even just showing the blind way to save somebody or something.
What's he wearing, dude?
Look at this guy. He's got a red shirt and a blue shirt and a... Darren, you think we're going to see a little bit more of red and blue and yellow and all that stuff?
I think for those of you that are wondering when Clark can start to race to testing, this is the year where he's going to be ever start thinking about the idea that he needs a double identity. So that's what I think I want to do a lot more work on that.
Very cool. Where are we at? Go ahead.
My question was for Allison and Justin. What do you guys hope to have happen to your characters in upcoming episodes?
Very cool.
Well, I have a lot of insight.
Go ahead. I was just going to say I had it. You know that.
I exaggerated.
Yeah.
No, my character is going to be struggling with a lot of different things due to what happened to her at the end of last season. If any of you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the season finale and you'll see. There's a lot of sort of struggle that she's going to be having with trying to keep her personal relationship with Jimmy going, as well as trying to sort of cut the apron strings a little bit with Clark and forge ahead into her own kind of passions. So that's sort of the direction that I'm going. It's pretty exciting. A little bit more insight.
And Justin, where are you going?
I would like to see my character go where I think he's going, which is, kind of a struggle with, with why he's doing what he's doing, and questioning his destiny or what he thought he should be doing, and also we're going to go back and explore the origin of the Green Arrow a little bit of the jump. Very happy this year, I promise.
So, Sam, you're the new ultimate badass on the show. What can we expect from you?
Well, I think you're going to have to wait a little bit until you start seeing something that you might recognize from the comic books. The character's name is Davis Bloom. He's a paramedic, really, really nice guy. And eventually, he's going to start blacking out, losing time. He's going to wonder what's going on. There's some blackout there, and sure he gets in. What he finds out is it's not great. It's not great. Eventually, the character will have to deal with that. It's pretty interesting. And the cool thing is we're not trashing the Doomsday backstory, just adding to it and interpreting it. What we're adding to it is sort of human consequence, not just the human consequence of the victimizers, but the human consequence for himself, because this guy is actually a really nice guy. And I actually mean that. Sorry, guys.
A really nice guy named Doomsday.
Precisely.
And Cassie, can you tell us a little bit about what you expect from you other than that you're very, very involved with Clark?
With what?
What are you doing?
Right now, having a great time. Tess is kind of this mystery. And you don't, like Green Arrow, you're going to find out kind of her backstory and where she comes from. But she's the girl with the book, and I don't really know why, but she is. And I think that she's going to find some inner strength in herself to run this incredible company. That's what she
Now, I noticed this, I've been on that side or not, but it seems in there that you were actually in the Max's connection on this next day last week. You guys, that you tore down, I thought the huge thing, and so should we expect you over to convention?
Yeah, I'm there every time.
Kelly, since you're one of the writers and EPs that we have to come to the something that we should be wondering and worrying about? For season 8 for anybody, what's going to happen in Harvester?
Sure. That's going to see more getting a little bit more testosterone. Park is going to actively go out and seek his destiny Superman and maybe take on Daily Planet as his source to get involved in what kind of people who can throughout the city. So I think you're going to expect that.
Thank you very much, and Allison, could I have your name plaque?
They tend to stick with the comic books to a point, and then in Smallville, we get in Smallville later. So yeah, they do that, that's fine.
I would say,
yeah, we have the same hair.
And I'll just add, there will be many women in Oliver's life this season.
Any women out there who would like to be in Justice Flag? Sorry about that. I'm looking over. I hear people. I hear women screaming. I look over. My wife is like sitting down. If you don't know what you're screaming about. Just to get under more control, are there any women out there who would like to be involved with justice? Another question? Just want to say Smallville rocks. I want to ask for Allison, is Chloe going to be using her powers in the future episodes?
Yeah, I think like Clark, you'll really see Chloe step into her own and have a lot less fear around what it is that she's able to do now and start taking more responsibility for what it is that she can actually do. She utilizes the powers that she's been given. So you'll definitely see her exploring that and also developing a few other things.
Okay. And Allison, that's smart. So smart. You're so smart.
Another question?
Sure. My name's Jason. I was just kind of wondering, how are you going to work Lex into this season, and how many episodes is Michael Rosenbaum going to be in?
Obviously, Michael Rosenbaum, we feel is one of the best actors on television. Brought amazing quality voices that I don't think you can help him out in case it would happen. We were really sad to go. The door is completely open. You definitely have not heard the last couple episodes. And hopefully, hopefully
door's open to Michael Rosenbaum. So he decided to come back and when he's done pursuing his other interests, which he wanted to go out and do. So, thank you.
We were with him the other night. He sends his love to all of you guys. He misses you.
Oh, goodness.
So sound.
My name is Sweet Arrow.
Justin, do you enjoy drinking on that teenager justice food, or do you have a single man which allows it?
Good question.
What would your sense?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, there's great aspects to both of those things. The Justice League thing is really cool. Yeah, there you go.
No, I want to show our costume design. That's so cool.
Is that leather, bro? Is that leather? Did you guys see this guy? Is he on Yeah, come up here. Yeah, no, it's about this guy. Oh, look!
You own the original Green Arrow, you bought the second?
Oh, this is?
Yeah. Okay.
The question was whether in which way I'd like to portray the Green Arrow, the single vigilante kind of lone ranger guy, or the Justice League. And both are fun, especially with the guys and the gals that they cast. Of course, it's a lot of fun to hang out with and act and everything. It's fun to see people in costume. It's good to be not the only one there in costume. Usually I'm working with Tom, and he rolls in a t-shirt and jeans, and here I come, and well, you saw it. And I'm like, hey, what's new? And I'm easy to pick up on lunchtime, so it's fun with everybody dressed up and everything. But it's also really kind of a cool thing to go about it on your own, because I get caught up in it too, and so you see the guys that sit down. And it's all, but yeah, so that's fun. It's really fun for me. Yeah, I like all the queens, but I like playing that.
Kelly, we're going to see more of the Justice Group or other guys that are wearing capes and tights and all that.
I will say, watch the premiere episode this season. So I don't think you'll be disappointed if you're a big Justice fan.
For spoilers, can you give them just a little bit more about Injustice Gang? Because they seem to be really interested.
Well, as Clark's joining Daily Planet, really sort of finding its Superman involvement with Justice League is bubbling up in the surface as well. And obviously having Justin join our cast permanently this season, which is...
I'm told, as we were talking about spoilers, that someone in this audience, this very audience, would be writing an episode of Smallville. Somebody that those of you who are fans probably know and know something about tights and tapes and things like that. You'll do it? Who said he'd do it? But the guy over there will have to do it. Somebody gets up. You guys know Jeff Johnson for writing Superman, and for writing Justice Society, and for writing Green Lantern, and because I like to help. Because I can't do the bills and stuff. Okay. So, anything you're asking? You want to talk a little bit about what just did? The Legion.
Legion! This season. Does anyone know what the Legion is?
I'm going to write an episode really excited to work with everybody on this. It's vastly amazing. But yeah. One more thing that nobody else knows that got introduced to your comic con. Is there another question?
Yes, Allison, I love you. Chloe's my favorite. Question for all of you. What TV show would you love to do a crossover with?
Okay, that's a pretty easy question. The answer is not Betty or Dale and Grandstack. Brian, you have one answer. What would that be?
I think that would be Supernatural.
And Ryan, do you think there's any possibility that that might be happening?
I'm not denying anything at this point.
Very cool. Kelly, if there were one place to keep the crossover, besides Dateline NBC?
That was my first choice, thank you. Well, I think it's Pressure 2, Heroes. And also I want to shout out to somebody else's special here, which is the Mark Hayden, who was on Battlestar, but also started on Smallville and really was a growth of senior producers, all four of us. So,
Are you here? Cassie, you can have a crossover with anywhere you want to go.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Absolutely anywhere.
Yeah, when you have to cross the show, not just you.
No. I really want to see everyone dancing, sing, so either like American Idol or So You Think You Can Dance, whichever you can.
I think it's pretty clear the Hasselhoff version of Knight Rider. Because it's cliche, I would get to beat the hell out of it.
I always just wondered on Knight Rider why, like, you shouldn't sit in the back seat. I don't feel like actually driving today. You would just get up and sit in the back. Allison, where are we crossing over with you?
I would love to go back and work with Greg and Jeff and Milo and Maria and do a little bit of Heroes action. And then I'd also love to kind of take the reporting aspect of Daily Planet and play around with Radman.
Very cool. Smallville Mad.
Yeah, why not?
Small Mad. Small Mad. How about that? Justin, where are we crossing over?
Oh man, I never thought of this in my life. Mine would be West Wings, who just walk in and be like, don't worry, Chris, we got this.
Darren? Yeah, Darren, you actually got it.
I would love to see Clark and Lois come into the theater play and sit down and look across the white tree.
Darren, where are you going? Todd, where are you going?
I still say Supernatural.
That's what happened with your
I just want to see this crossover with weeds. Hey, you know, God's blind. Where's your money? You really don't have another question?
I'm going to try and try to yours.
Keep going,
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the writers. There are shows like Lost and Rouse have like shows that establish an ending, and made each episode in the finale last season. Count that last ending. Do you have a plan like that? And do you have it kind of along with Alan Miles' vision? Or do you have your own vision that demonstrates your vision?
Alan and I have worked closely with them for many, many years, and they've shared many of their ideas about the ending of, the series, when that would happen. We hope that doesn't happen for quite some time. But when it does happen, I think everyone in this room will be very, very happy. That's an awesome idea. They will honor the thought of that in a really great way.
I just want to say that when I was on the show, it was always going to, I think you guys know too, it's a 5-year plan. And then somehow we busted all the way through to season 8, and that's because of you guys. So, a lot more trouble from this season. The next question up.
Yes, I just want to thank all of you, cast and writers, producers, directors of the show. That's awesome for me that I get to watch and look forward to every week when it's on. My question is, Allison, I try not to read anything on the internet about your character, but I caught something. Tell me you're not becoming evil once Powers is building.
Well, if I told you, why would you watch everything?
I was going to watch it, but I didn't want to believe that. You are my most awesome character. I love you so much. Justin, you rock too. You too. We will see you when you see him start. Again, when this is all over with Allison, I'd like to get a picture of you if possible. Don't be mad. Thank you.
That's the only I don't believe everything you read.
Next question.
Hey, love the show. I was wondering if there's any possibility of introducing a guest starring role for a certain Amazon princess.
Brian is now something wonderful in the future.
I'm killed for that opportunity. Although these two are going to be, as you probably saw from that little teaser, we're going to be doing a lot more with the DC mythology and bringing in the characters and mechanics. So we're really excited about it. We've been working closely with DC and they're really great about opening the door to a lot of characters.
Well, on that note, is there a possibility for after season 8 for a Green Arrow TV show? Or how about Green Arrow and his amazing friends? And Allison can be the... She runs the whole there you go.
It sounds like the arm runs out of it.
Thanks, guys. It's great.
Thank you. Next question. Sure, say next. You can talk.
Thank you.
My question is actually which do you like better, playing with working by
I think I prefer working behind the camera, but animated features are amazingly fun. Because there's no real ceiling, so you can kind of go as big as you want, and the bigger the better because the more it translates to your voice. It's also really cool to see a drawn you kind of up on the screen, because they film you as you're acting and then they animate to you. So I was never so aware of sort of my body movements and the way I expressed as I was when I saw myself drawn up on the screen. So it was very cool. They're very different, but I think if I was to have to choose one or the other, I would pick one.
But you also get the show to work in your pajamas.
Which is true, which is very true.
Thank you. Next question.
Hi, everyone. My name's Jeremy. I've been a fan of the show since the pilot in September 2001 after I lost it with my church group. And been a fan ever since. So thank you for being done. My question is for Allison, actually, for any of the writers or even Judd, if you have any thoughts on this. For a long time, I've been hearing some talk about Chloe in DCU members' comic books. Something that's been talked about but never actually materialized. Allison, and again, if you have any other thoughts. If you had a choice, what would your interpretation of how Chloe would fit into Superman's life in the comic books, such as their oracle role of Superman?
Yeah, I mean, I really like what we've established as a team over the last 8 years, starting with, I don't know, we were really thinking of all the big, in conjunction and things. I like how we've established her as being sort of the ultimate sidekick. And I like sort of being his rock and his foundation to jump from. And I think that keeping that position in the comics would be really cool. I like sort of his go by day kind of position. So I think just moving into that direction would be really interesting to continue that Legends on in the comics. I like that.
I'd love her to be the Red Pulse. Can you ask me the question, I guess?
Thank you.
Next question up.
Hello, I'm Randy.
Hey, Randy.
I was one of the top 4 members of the gang. My question is, in CW had a trailer that showed Lex finding the fortress in the snow gear. Where were answer? What happened to that story?
So how do you want to take Lex finding the fortress of the snow gear?
It's interesting because last season that was shot for episode 15, which happened, that was going to be our season finale because of the writer's strike. So we had shot that and then decided to use it for promotion. And when we got to episode 20, it just didn't fit in that episode at that point. We just decided creatively that it would have been a better moment with him walking in.
And is that stuff you could see on DVD?
Let's hope so.
There you go. Would you guys want to see that stuff on DVD?
DVD, there's someone that really need to thank here, which is all of you guys make it happen, but beyond you guys, there's a studio behind the show that finances this show. And there's a gentleman named Peter Loft whose brainchild Smallville was 8 years ago. We should all give him a big round of
He's just an amazing guy, and absolutely it's very, very hard to be the guy that's behind all the guys. So, okay, do we have a next question?
Hi, my name's Ben, and my question is Sam knows that there's going to be any of the episodes?
Kelly and Joe coming back to Smallville.
Everyone, the fans love Sam, and we all really love Sam, and we had a great time having him back. So it's always a possibility. Right now, we're opening up breaking episode 5, so we have a long season to go. So we will absolutely take that and go back to the writing room.
How many episodes can we expect to see?
22.
So if Sam comes back, will we be wearing old spikes?
Chewing tobacco.
Hi, my name's Russell.
Hey, Russell.
Congratulations on getting to season 7 of the strike. And I wanted to know if the strike didn't happen, what would have happened with the last 2 episodes?
Well, that's pretty cool. Darren, can you tell us a little bit about what happened on the show?
I think it would have been very similar. I think sort of the order of the way things happened might have been altered slightly, but even though things changed because the strike interrupted our game plan, somehow, in my opinion, I think somehow things clung together in a way that we would have wanted them to anyway. I think we're very compromises made.
Cool.
Thank you.
Great question. Next. Out there.
Hello, I'm Britta. This is my favorite show. I don't know if this one takes that. Okay, my favorite show. Alice and I read your blog. Very good. Love it. Thank you. My question is actually for Sam. Lex, as bad and cold and cruel as he could be, I have to admit, I love an evil genius with a stock portfolio. Sorry. What will we love? I know you said your character's a nice guy. What kind of odd, obscure thing will we love about your character?
Wow, that's a really tough question.
That's what you'll love.
Clearly, we discussed that about humor as much likeness as we can. He's just a nice guy. There's stuff going on. He's got a really interesting backstory. So my hope is just for whatever reason the fans will like him enough to where they're not going to want to see where everyone knows he's going.
Darren, my guess is you have some secrets about that.
I was going to say, Lex was an awesome villain, but Lex couldn't kill Superman. Right, yeah, and that was the whole thing with DC, right? That they said, oh, Lex Luthor is super smart, we got all these other great villains like Brainiac and everything, but, you know, who can go toe-to-toe with Superman? What does he get to have a knockdown, drag out, and destroys the city?
I think you can say King has some
There's a disclaimer in the back of our thing that reminds us that some of our audience members may be under 18 years, so we gotta keep it.
I think that only exact people that actually work on the show.
Real quick, if I didn't get up here, I asked for Justin's gameplay for my mom. She would show me. So now that I'm here, okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, come on out. Yeah, we're going to go away.
I can sign to get a picture.
Come on, everybody in the front row, what's that bet?
Comic-Con and no one has a Sharpie.
I'll spend 70 bets. Smallville feels bad.
Green arrows.
Should we, green arrow uses 10 for arrow. Also, we become a 10 show. And we have the next question?
I love all you guys, just want to tell you that. My name's Robin Savlov, and hi. And
Back to the mic.
Anyway, I wanted to either ask a question to Justin or Allison, but I already got to tell Justin that he's on my Smallville calendar this month yesterday, so we're good. But anyway, Allison, I heard that you were supposed to direct one of the episodes of Smallville last season. Are you going to do that this season?
Which one?
Who wants to see
I hope so. We want her to. Let's make it official!
You guys remember where I'm at? You guys hope you have your blocks out there. Next question.
Hi, my name's Sophie. I'm a fan of Smallville and everything my entire life. So when the show Toronto, super excited. Also, I'd like to say Sam, Bacon, and Ralph are president. I was wondering, writers, if you're thinking about your own kind of tell you just bringing you back for us.
Brian, do you could do any spin-off from the show or anything in particular, something that you would be interested in?
I
know you all have your personal favorites. Let's see what Brian says.
We've talked about a lot of different opportunities. I would love to see a lot of them come back. So,
I was going to say that Peter Ron from the studio has basically been the greatest supporters of Smallville, and we're always looking together to see how we can, satisfy all the fans. Once down the road, hopefully far down the road, Smallville's off the air. So, fingers crossed.
Absolutely. She bought a pen. Those of you that are asking for nameplates, remember, bring your own pen. Todd, you have a spin-off name or we're waiting here?
Todd, can I have your name last time? Tough question. I wouldn't rule anything out. DC Universe is filled with, awesome characters, and a lot of the stuff is rights issues when it comes down to it. But
I gotta take back the day, the only thing anyone ever asked was when Bruce Wayne's going to come on the show. And then Chris Nolan made, how many of you guys have seen The Dark Knight? He's been up for it, that's very cool. Okay, alright. That's terrific.
We could have that guy on the show.
Yes, we can actually have that guy without his costume on. Do we have another question?
Hi, my name is Jillian Mooney. This question is mainly for Allison, but anybody can answer. Allison, in your opinion, do you think Jimmy and Chloe should stay together, or do you think Clark and Chloe should have their little spark?
I thought you were going for Clark and Jimmy.
I think she'd be lucky to have either of them. I know, Clark's really high maintenance.
Do we have another question?
Hey guys, my name is Robert, and Justin, I met you at Depot where I was working, so I'm sorry to bother you. I gave you a fast pass with your family, so I hope you used it.
hey, brother, I remember that. We used that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I didn't know anything about Green Arrow until you came on, and now, once I got you on, I started touching Green Arrow, so now I'm going green.
Thank you.
I'm saying that Warner Bros. Needs to make more DC comic heroes that badass. You meant they did Green Arrow, but you beat the star. I'd love to have you be the star of the movie.
Of the movie Green Arrow?
Yes.
Would I like a huge movie career? Sure.
I don't want to record.
Yeah, record it. Who cares? No, that's out of that.
Can I make quick mention?
What?
Boom! Okay, next question.
I love your work.
My name is Batman. I understand. I have one question only. When are you bringing me on the show?
And Jesse can have your reading class.
I think you have to check this out. Is your belt right up, too? Should we need some bad set?
This is really meaningful for me.
I can't think of a better way to wrap this all up than to have this guy removed. But to honestly say that to have the biggest movie in the country and also to have the coolest DC show on the air, just thanking each and every one of you for coming here today, for supporting Smallville, and for supporting my pals. Brian Kelly and Todd Darren through season 8. It's an incredible cast, emotional, thank you all. Cool, you guys are great to be on. I want to say thank you very much.
He'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me until I come over. He'll make me feel guilty. This is ridiculous, okay? I'll go. Damn it!
Welcome back to Gundamn at MAHQ. For our next interview segment, I actually had time at the Capcom booth to speak with the producer of not only the remake of Bionic Commando, which is Bionic Commando Rearmed, coming out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, but also the new Bionic Commando game that's coming out for those systems as well. And his name is Ben Judd. We really just went into what the games were about, and here is the interview, and we'll be back on Gundam at MAHQ.
Hey everybody, this is Sober Review. I'm here with Ben Judd, the producer of the upcoming Bionic Commando Rearmed, and also you're the producer of the remake of the original game as well. That's coming out on the PS3 and the Xbox Live, and is it also coming out on the Wii as well, or are they holding off on that?
Nope, there's no Wii version at this time.
Well, when do you think is the remake of the game Bionic Commando, is it slated for the fourth quarter this year, or do you have an idea when it might come? Might be hitting, or a demo might be hitting Xbox Live or PS3?
Okay, there's two games, and how we refer to them internally is there's Rearmed, which is a homage to the original. It's pretty much 90% of the original level design, and then there is the 3D version, which is actually a sequel to that game.
Exactly, and it stars Nathan Rad Spencer as well, correct?
Correct. They're both Nathan Rad Spencer, but what we wanted to do was have two different kind of sides to the same character. And if anyone who's played the original, he's like a poppy 1980s cheesy action hero. The developers have likened him to like Iceman on Top Gun or Marty McFly, a combination of that. Right. But we wanted to have a character that's like that, very patriotic, sort of like a Captain America character, very white sort of character. Have him transition, be very dynamic, so that by the time the 3D version starts, he is more like a lost character. All of his values, his principles have kind of been changed, and he doesn't know what to believe in anymore because the government that he totally had faith in has kind of sold him out.
Oh, man. Well, how much time is in between Rearmed and the new Bionic Commando that's coming out?
There's 10 years that occur in between both those games.
Wow, so a lot has happened in between the end of Bionic Commando. Because I remember playing Bionic Commando as a child, and I know at the end of the game you fight quote-unquote Hitler at the end, and, not to give away anything, but I guess a lot of people know, but what was it well, if anything, I guess my next question is Super Joe still in the remake of in Rearm as well? You still have to save him?
When you say the remake, do you mean Rearmed?
Rearmed, yeah.
Yes, of course Super Joe is. The story is the exact same.
That is excellent. Again, I can't wait to play that. I can't wait to actually play the full version of the new Bionic Commando that's coming out. And when is that slated for?
The new version, the 3D one, is for Q4 2008, so in between November and January is what we're shooting for.
That is excellent news. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the interview. I can't even talk straight today.
You can end it now.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Mr. Judd. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for hanging in there with us. And we'll be right back on Gundam at MAHQ.
Okay.
Start talking and talk fast, you lousy bum.
We've been frantically trying to reach you, dude.
Where is my goddamn money, you bum?
Well, I don't...
They did not receive the money, you nitwit! They did not receive the money! Her life was in your hands!
This is our concern, dude.
No, man, nothing is here.
Nothing is
No, man.
The goddamn plane has crashed into the mountain!
Welcome, everybody. This is Neil Ornoke along with Soul Bro.
Yeah.
And this is the third installment of Gundamn at MAHQ at Comic-Con 2008. And we'd actually like to give you more information of what we had today, but unfortunately, from past experiences, Saturday is always the busiest day of Comic-Con. And we got shut out of what now? The Heroes panel, the Lost panel, and the Battlestar Galactica panel.
All of them. If you wanted to see them, you had to at least wait 5 hours to go see either one of those. Now,
it was really bad, folks. I just have to say, we went over there at 12:30, and when a person is sitting there saying, waiting for Battlestar Galactica, and we've been waiting for here about 3 hours, and that panel did not start till 2:15.
Oh my God!
So, unfortunately, Gundam is not your place to be for exciting new things on this, because
it just goes to show.
Yeah,
you want to go to these things with a press pass.
Yes, Chris, show us the love next time. No, we're just messing around.
You know, this was an experience I'll never forget.
No, and I will say, Comic-Con 2008 is a lot more It's a lot more popular than what it was last year, because Saturday was the worst day when I went last year, but it was just there was things that we could go into.
Yeah,
but there was you could not get into Heroes, you could not get into Lost. It's like, I'll go to Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
no, you can't do that because it starts at 2:15, but it's 11:45, and the door's out the freaking out the damn convention center. So.
That line! Before that, the line for Heroes was ridiculous. That line wrapped around the entire. Off to the side, there's a section called Section H, right? This line zigzagged throughout the courtyard. I mean, zigzag, and this is a lot of people already. And then it went and wrapped around the entire building to where the docking bay is for the trucks to come in to load whatever they need to load or take.
We'll put it to you this way, folks. The con doesn't open till 9:30. We got there at 7:45, and there was just mounds of people. So
and the Heroes panel didn't start till 11, maybe 10:45.
No, it was 10 o'clock. It
was
10 o'clock.
Wow.
And as much as we want to get you this stuff, there was just no way. and you know, we try to do everything for you guys, but we don't. We know, if you wanted to get something for the show, we would never say, sit there and do something that was just out of the ordinary. But it was just we're talking hours upon hours on end. Yeah. So, of course, our man, the legend, the Saji Crossroad #1 fan, Soul Bro, got picked. He got handpicked, folks. This man, because he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he wishes.
He's very good at Street Fighter. So what happened was, the man got picked for a Street Fighter tournament.
Oh my gosh!
And he actually got to play against some of the pros in the Street Fighter universe.
Yeah, there was.
Tell us, Soul Bro, about it.
Well, basically, they have 2 tournaments every day, and sure enough, it's funny. Seth Killian was actually there from Capcom. He's one of the head guys at Capcom USA, and he recognized me. He remembered me from yesterday, and
because you're so memorable, Soul Bro.
Oh, I know. He actually was signing up people for the tournament, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time, and he asked me if I wanted to be in the tournament, so I sure enough signed up for it. And make a long story short, when I actually fought against someone, the person I was originally supposed to fight against wasn't actually around when they called his name. So I had to wait a little while, and I just was up there rapping with everybody. And next thing you know, they called one of the alternates up to the stage, and he just had this cool demeanor, this real cool demeanor that I already know from being in past tournaments. This guy was going to rape me on this new game, and it's that's awesome. At least it'll be a decent fight, and it was pretty close. I mean, I picked Ryu, as most of you guys are
of
probably
course.
But he picked Zangief. Which
That's
is
why you
really-
lost?
Yeah.
Because you did not have Ken?
I'm not picking Ken.
Yeah,
I'm not. I have an anti.
He's a quarter Japanese. What are you going to say, right?
I'm rolling with 100%. But no, it was a pretty close match. They had best out of 3, and it only took 2 sets of fights for me to lose. But it came to 3 rounds every time, where every
Awesome.
match is So I mean, it came
Awesome.
close. And the guy thanked me. He said, you
have some skills, still, bro.
Yeah, I got some skills. I can't pat myself on the back because I wish I won, but he was good. He was good competition. But on top of that, after I left that, I actually went over to Namco-Bandai, and I spoke with some of the people there. And according to, and this is I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but according to the people at Namco-Bandai, apparently the Gundam game on the Xbox 360 won't be coming out here in the States.
That's Gundam Mobile Ops.
Mobile Ops, yeah.
And,
Mobile
and
Ops.
that is going to
Or Operation Troy.
That's
in Japan.
negating all of what Neo's news was the previous episode, right?
So I can't take that as the gospel because they are PR people, but it didn't give me much of a
okay.
It didn't give me much of a any kind of. It kind of killed my vibe that I had waiting to see this game come, and they said there's really no other Gundam games planned for the rest of the year. Now they could be misinformed, and I hope they are. But other than, but at the meantime, right now, my doubts are really, really high right now towards seeing that game in the States.
That sucks hardcore.
That's one of the reasons why I bought the system in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean,
well, let's just hope that what we heard was
just hearsay.
It's just hearsay, and these are just dumb marketing people.
Yeah.
And
I will say
because we do know prior to we came here, it was still being shown on the GameStop website.
Even according to E3, it was still supposed to be coming out here. So as far as I know,
guys, don't take this verbatim, but this is just something that Solbro, as the secret super sleuth that he is.
Someone on the inside track.
Yes.
It may be true that we may not be seeing it. So right now it's hearsay until you hear otherwise. But other than that, I did try the new Naruto game, the one the Ninja Storm.
Oh, it's awesome.
That game is
beautiful. Looks so awesome.
I mean, I'm not a Naruto fan. I did follow it for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful looking game. It looks like the animated series brought into 3D.
Yeah, I'm going to elaborate on what Solbro just said. I've seen it a couple times, and I actually played it yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was just like, let's just imagine the anime, but you have control of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. So it's like...
I got absolutely raped in the game by this dude I was playing against. He picked Naruto and I picked Kakashi because I think they're the only two pickable characters you can get. I didn't know exactly what to do, but I was trying to do Kakashi's lightning move. But he did this super with Naruto where it was like the 100-man pile-up. Like all these Narutos freaking pile up on top of you. And then one of them pulls another one off the pile and starts running towards the camera. And this daisy chain of Narutos are all grabbing you, and then the last one is grabbing Kakashi, and then he slams him like with this kind of a bullwhip type action, whips the whole chain of Narutos into the ground. But you're the only thing that hits because you're at the end of the chain, and it KO'd me. But it was pretty impressive.
I just got to say, when I played it the other day, I get my ass whipped.
Yeah,
I was Kakashi, and somebody's Naruto, and they whipped my booty.
Yeah,
they whipped my booty up and down. But and that's cool though. I mean, that game is it. We know it's not Mecha related, but
it's Bandai related, so I figured.
And we know most of you guys out there have listened to or have watched Naruto, and it's a really cool game. I mean, there's so many uncool, so many bad anime games, but we have to say, from what we've seen, this is a cool game.
Yeah, and
very cool game.
If anything, I mean, the Naruto games, I think, have had better luck with adaptations, but it's a very adaptable series to video games, and I think that's probably its benefit. But not to get too far off track, but it was really fun to play, and I don't have a PS3, but I plan on getting one in the future, and I think I will probably pick up that game at least used when it comes out. I also played Soul Calibur 4. Awesome.
Yeah.
Comes out this Tuesday. If you have a 360 or a PS3,
did you play Vader? Did you play against Vader?
I picked Darth Vader. I had played the PlayStation 3 version. I picked him.
How'd they block those beam sabers?
You got me.
Oh, I'm sorry, lightsaber. I said beam saber because I'm so Gundam specific.
Oh man, with the BS flag, that's how they block them.
Okay, no problem.
Because that was raised the minute they're able to block a freaking lightsaber. But that's pretty much it out of me. I had a pretty good day, and although we didn't really get to go into any panels, it was informative in other ways.
And you know, the thing is folks, I was here last year, and I was able to go in a couple of the panels, but this year was off. It was insane. They really, it's just, unfortunately, this thing has gotten bigger than what it was, and
it's over 200,000 people here this year, as opposed to under last year.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean,
to be fair, I honestly think that 50% of anybody going to any major panel should be people who line up in line.
Yeah.
But the other 50% should be random, and it's neat that on the badges there's a barcode you can scan.
So bro's going on a tangent.
I just have a suggestion for Comic-Con next year. If you know it's a popular panel like Heroes Are Lost or some movie premiere, 50% of the people should be able to allow. This should be the press, of course. They go in, they have priority. Then 50% of whatever's left should be people who've been lined up all day because they put in the time and effort. But the other 50%, they should be able to scan the barcode on your badge like they do with any raffle that they have going on the show floor. They have many raffles going on all day. They scan your badge. If you win, they'll call you up. And it's all computerized. They could do the same thing for the panels. In a day in advance for any major panel, they can just put up like a list of names and blow. If you're able to go, you go. If you don't show up, many people in line will be there to take your place. Anyway, I'm running off at the mouth. I just think they should do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, we had a couple things that we really wanted to do this today, but you know, just put us in your place. Do you want to wait? We have no problem waiting 40, 45, an hour for a certain panel, but there were people that were waiting for some of these panels for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, and
you could wait all day and still not get in.
Yeah, and that was the problem. And you know, as much as we want to get this stuff to you guys, we apologize that we couldn't, and we're going to do everything we could. And we had our ears out to see if there was any revelations, and we didn't hear any revelations according to Heroes or Lost or Battlestar Galactica. Those were the 3 main panels that we wanted. So
I'm going to have to jump online a little bit just to find out.
Yeah, so you know, we apologize that, you know, that we couldn't do anything better for you guys, but, you know, all we got to say is next year that we want Gundamn, not only Gundamn, me, Soulbro, and Chris here, but we want the listeners here because we want to make a statement. So, you know, and there's been, you know, we've seen much love for Mecha Anime. And we've seen a lot of stuff in there, and there's a lot of cool things. So, you know, we're just humans. So, I mean, put us in your position.
Comparing it to last year, is there a lot more anime type merchandise or mecha type merchandise on the floor, or about the same?
Comparing it to last year, it just was not as big as it is this year. It's very large, and the biggest thing is that even on Saturday it was always a tough time, but we were still able to see things.
Yeah.
And we went and we were waiting for something. We went and had a quick bite to eat. Something was starting at 2 hours prior, and we walked over there, and the line is just like out the door off to Coronado Beach, and it's just like I mean, even if we got in line, we weren't going to get into it.
It was a long stack of dominoes.
Unfortunately, just I think in a lot of ways Comic-Con has grown, and it's just grown in such a way that there's going to be things that they're going to have to address, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. That's not our thing, but we definitely apologize to all you guys that we promised any of this stuff with. We did it. We woke up this morning.
Oh, we woke up earlier than we ever did.
We woke up at 6:15.
Yeah.
Pacific Coast time. And the doors don't even open till 9:30. So we woke up that early. We were out the door. We even drove at this time. We didn't even take the Metro Rail.
We didn't take any public transportation.
Yeah, we didn't even take the Metro Rail down there. And we were down by 8:45. 9 o'clock, and it was just madness. So
it was the lines were out of
we
control.
apologize to you guys.
I think they'll understand for the most part.
I'm sure these guys will, except for Dusty Gundam. He doesn't say anything.
Oh, one last thing. We actually ran into one of the listeners of Gundam today. We like to thank Advent Sugar. We actually got to hang out with her. And
Yes.
she was the coolest of people. And
she's a local resident here, and as Soulbro stated before, she was like one of our only female listeners.
She was like our first known female listener.
Yes.
And then, of course, Kashiria did speak up and let me know that she was also listening to us. And
No problem.
So she's definitely not the only one, but she actually. It's ironic that Kashiria was supposed to come to this, but just other things happened where she couldn't make it, and I do regret not being able to also converse with her.
But we thank both of them.
Oh yeah,
we thank Advent Sugar. Thank you for coming to see us today.
Plus any other female listeners of Gundam that might dig us.
and we thank you, Kashiria, wherever you may be, because we know you're in the military.
That's
and,
right.
Just download us down. But
she's gonna be a jack soon.
We just want to say, guys, we tried to do what we could do, and tomorrow is another day.
Indeed.
And there's still some things that we're going to try to do, and hopefully we'll be able to do them, and we'll get them up to you guys. And once again, if there's any questions or comments or anything that you guys want to do, just hit us up on the Gundam at Comic-Con thread on mechatalk.net.
Exactly.
And just put them on there. Me and Silver are checking, and we definitely want to hear some of the things that you guys are saying. And
also, if you guys have any problems with the slideshow, I'm going to figure out a way to present the pictures in a different way so you guys can see them better.
Yeah, that's another thing, guys. I took probably between these 3 days.
Yeah.
We have almost over 400 sets of pictures, and we're just give us time. We put up some of the things that we thought might be interesting for a lot of you guys.
Well, actually, on the boards, I noticed there was a response. At times, you can't see all the pictures, so you can see the thumbnail, and you would even came across that. It's like, why is the picture not showing up? It's either the bandwidth on Photo Bucket or something like that. But
just don't worry about it, guys, because we have all these pictures. They're all saved on disk.
Yeah.
So we're going to get them up. And we were just putting a lot of the stuff that we thought you guys might like to see.
Oh, they're digging it. They like what we have up
and,
there. So.
Once we get back to Florida, we're going to put them all up. And we're going to, do what we need to do. So, we understand and we know the issues. So, anything else before we go,
No, I'm tapped out. I'm ready to take a nap.
So, this is Neil Lornook. I'm along with Soulbro. I'm going to go jump in the pool. And have a beer, but we just enjoy you guys listening to us, and we apologize that we couldn't do more. But guys, if you were here, you would understand.
This is the most apologies I've ever been on the show. I thought that was bad.
Yeah, I'm taking the Soulbro route on this one. So, but no problem.
Role reversal.
We will definitely be back with you tomorrow night. With the closing of Comic-Con, and hopefully we're able to get into some of these things, and because we want to pass it on to you guys. So
I will fight hard.
Yeah, no problem. But we'll talk to you later. And Soulbro,
and you've been listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Gundam.
Hey everybody, it's Neo back here at Gundam at MAHQ. Another one of the panel segments that we were able to record live was with CMX Manga. That's actually a division of DC Comics, and we actually attended the panel there, and they were going over a lot of coming out in the next couple of months. And not a lot of it's mecha related, but it's actually kind of interesting because I know not all you guys out there like other things other than mecha. So a lot of cool stuff that's actually coming out. So, and they also had a question and answer period that was kind of interesting about how they choose different mangas and just some other things that are going on. So you guys check it out, enjoy, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching down here. We appreciate you showing up. This is CMX Manga. We are CMX. We are the Manga division of DC Comics. And we're going to present to you some upcoming titles that we have. My name is Jim Chapman, and I'm the Cinemax editor. And in these panels, we actually have a very small team that puts together all the CMX books. So we're here in force with a special guest in the panel. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pass the mic around those that work, and everybody introduce themselves, just starting on my right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Spooky. You might have heard my name before. And at CMX, my job is basically still shopping. I choose titles for CMX, and I discuss titles with everyone here to make sure that we all want to publish the books. So it can be what we choose and what we put into the next video. Enjoy the book.
Hi, I'm Sarah Carter. I'm the editorial coordinator for CMX, which means I get to wear many hats. One of them is getting to read all the books, and the other is getting to interact with a lot of our freelancers.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Larry Barrett. I'm the art director for CMX, so I'm responsible for the look and feel of the entire line, as well as the show, the new graphics, and things like that. So I will enjoy what I do. It's high speed, a lot of work. It's really fun, and enjoy a great team. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I guess I'm the special guest. I am the editor on tour of CMX Titles, and I also write the CMX newsletter that comes out every Saturday evening.
And we'll talk about the newsletter a little bit at the end of the presentation of the individual titles. So we're all going to kind of take turns talking about different books here. And so there we go.
This is one of my favorite, Batman is one of my favorite characters in any kind of comic here. So I was really thrilled that we were able to do this here at CMX. This is Batman Death Mask. It's written and illustrated by Shinori, who's Matsume, created Tugari. It's kind of the parallel story of Bruce Wayne in his early years in Japan training, killing Bruce and Oni, which is his demon. And the story kind of goes through Bruce's inner self and how he kind of deals with becoming Batman and what he needs to do to kind of get to that next level. One of the interesting facts on this book is that Yoshinori didn't know really much about Batman. He didn't know really anything about Batman, so they kind of gave him the guidelines of, obviously Batman doesn't kill, and Batman's not for things, and so he took that and kind of ran with it with his own story. So it's very good. Right now it's out in comic size format. It does read the Japanese style. It's 48 pages, 4 issues, and it's $2.99. The series is also going to be collected in the CMX format, with CMX style, and you'll have some special illustrations in there and some other things in there. So, you guys pick it up. Thanks.
Oh yeah, in October. There's some fans actually, I just had somebody ask me if it was from a retailer going back to the press on it. Number one, and the answer is yes. Actually, it's in progress right now. So if you've been bugging your retailer stores and you don't have it, bug the store. And it's going to be coming back next year for 3 final volumes, starting in the spring of 2009. Most of the collections of short stories about some new disability characters in Emma, and as well as kind of the wrap-up of the story. So we're very excited about seeing that. It has completed in Japan, so again, we'll be collecting it and putting it out. I wonder if any of you have seen the DVD collection yet. That is stuff that you love. If you like the book, you should definitely get the DVD. A, because the anime is really beautiful, and B, because there's really kind of collector's book that comes with it. It has all of the inside. So, try to get down to the right stuff or your local retailer.
This is another one of my favorites. This is, as everyone knows, Rayon Chichi. Written and illustrated by Rashid. I'm sorry. Again, Rayon Chichi is the manga-based anime. It's reprinted in its original form. It's on the fields. If you've seen the anime, everybody kind of knows a little bit about it. You really enjoy the Mecha. It's for a long time, and we really enjoy it. We all crack out and read the things and show you. We just give little things to each other. So we really enjoy it. The first 3 volumes are on sale, and the volume 4 is on sale at the end of July. So, and should have ongoing, and it's published by Namco-Bandai. So, written and your choice of face and then
and we have to change names. I don't think you pick up the book. Seen it. Not a lot of reasons to do it, people are saying you can't. They haven't seen it anymore. So make sure you go to those first 3 volumes. Okay, moving along. This is actually this title, the first volume is out right now, The Flat Earth Exchange, written and illustrated by Toshimi Nigoshi, and this is a science fiction series, and basically what happens is the human race is dying out in the future. This guy is put into suspended animation, hoping to wake up later on when they found a solution for this problem, but actually when he wakes up 100 years later, it's actually quite worse, and androids are now basically running the planet, only a handful of humans around. And the androids have this very selective memory. It only lasts 22 years. So in their mythology, in collective mythology, they were the ones who actually created the humans and not vice versa. Which I think they actually call themselves humans. Humans they call people, vice versa. Anyway, this is a 4-volume series, and it's out now. And again, kind of we haven't really done a lot of science fiction stuff, so this is kind of cool. We got this all.
We just talked about him a little while ago. Shirley is actually a collection of short stories, also by Colin Berry, all revolving around AIDS. And some of the titles, some of the stories in this collection actually predate Emma, and in some ways could be said as almost the inspiration for Emma. The title character, Shirley, is right there. She is a 13-year-old maid looking for work in London, in Victorian area of London, and she ends up finding this job, and her life changes, and so does the life of the person that she ends up working with. It's just a number of really sweet, very touching stories. And it's out right now. It's going to a lot.
This series we have is called The Girl Who Runs Through Time, and it was based on a novel that was first published in 1965, and this particular story has been incarnated through many different mediums. And we're going to be bringing you the 2-volume series. And it's about a girl named Kazuko, and she's basically your typical average high school girl until she finds out that she has the ability to jump through time, and she can go back. And with this, she realizes that it's kind of like the butterfly effect, that when you go back, when you change things, they can have, they have consequences on the future. So it's a nice little story, and like I said, it's only 2 volumes. And it comes out in September and November.
Go West. Is anybody familiar with Yugami, the creator of the Kaida and Lisman Elves? Yep. Anybody? If you're not, you're definitely missing out on some of the best comedy manga out there. Go West is another one of his titles. But this one, instead of being a sci-fi title or advanced title, it's set in kind of an alternate universe, Wild West, with the main character, Naomi, right there, coming to America in search for her parents that she lost at a very, very young age. The only movement that she has about her parents is a photograph in the novel that she has. And basically she lands in kind of like a fictional America of sorts, and it treks west, just moves west, running into crazy characters that are following her around. Some of them saying they're part of her family, whether they are or whether they're not, it's not necessarily all that relevant. And she's just, she knows that she has a purpose, and she's going to keep on just going west. And unfortunately, she has a horse that just only goes west. It's really crazy. If you're familiar with Gundamn, the art's really, really detailed. There's just so much stuff going on, and it's a very well-written story as well. Volume 1 of the West will begin in November. So, yeah, I highly recommend this book. I mean, the art alone, the fluidity of the lines, and just the dynamic of the three main characters. Yeah, it's really excellent. So I really highly recommend this book and try and find it if you can.
Classical Medley. This is a title that comes out in October, 2-volume series. It's one of our titles that we do from Flex Comics. As you know, we have a partnership with a Japanese company named Flex Comics, and we have several titles that we publish presently. By then, more to come, CMX Flex. This is a story about a mythical kingdom called Classical, and the gimmick here is that everybody has a peaceful name. There's a young prince named Soprano, and basically what happens to this evil force that has been trapped for decades in the kingdom of Classical, takes over the king and queen, and then Prince Soprano and his bodyguard, Alto, and the little dragon, Ezzo, they become outlaws and they're hunted by the king, and of course they have to find a way to restore order in the kingdom. The artwork is really cute, and the first volume, people say, well, gee, this looks really kid-friendly. We've actually rated the teen because it looks really cute and it is very cute, but in the second volume, some material I think is probably not necessarily appropriate for really young children. So, for certainly teens or older children would be fine, but age is cool. Okay, this is a series that we're really excited about. Marginal is actually one of many aliases of the author of Old Boy, and so but if you're familiar with the property, it's very edgy, it's very dark. This has some fabulous artwork. The story is about a young man, present-day Tokyo, and his sister dies under mysterious circumstances. He's estranged from his family. When he goes back to visit them among their possessions, he finds this blank CD, and it plays it as this kind of like avant-garde jazz score. And as he's listening to it, he has an out-of-body experience. And every time he goes back and listens to this CD, he has another experience, and he keeps pushing the limits of it. And eventually he comes to the conclusion that perhaps this is what really happened to my sister. Maybe she's out there someplace on the astral plane, and I have to find out. And it's more than that. Also, it's kind of a crime drama to it in a way, because there's a lot of gangsters who get involved and won't find this CD. It becomes like kind of a collector's item. So kind of edgy stuff, but the best way I can kind of think of it is sort of maybe CMX's first West title. In the spirit of easy family.
This is another one of our CMX Flex titles. It's called Believe It. And it's also 2 volumes, and the first one is on sale in October. And this is about a high school student named Tetsu, and he happens to be alone in the science lab one day when all of a sudden an alien spaceship crashes into the school. And a very cute, human-looking alien girl named Blonde gets out of the spacecraft and realizes that all the animals and things that she's brought with her from her other planet have escaped. And so now she needs help going and tracking all of these things down. And
It also happens that the biology club has been disbanded and the student that was in the classroom wants to revive the biology club, so he makes a solve with her and says, if you join the biology club and help me resurrect it, I'll help you go look for all of your alien creatures that you've lost. It's very, very cute, it's fun, it's also volumes.
Fire Investigative NSA. This book is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me kind of a little bit movie-esque kind of script, kind of when you read it. The NSA, her parents died as a result of an arson, and so she was a firefighter. She dedicated her life to solving crimes and with the fire. Then one day she begins to receive tips from the arsonists, telling her about fires and once these crimes going to start and what's going on here. So it turns out the guy that's sending her tips is also the same person that murdered her parents. So she kind of has a conflict of what she should do she's helping people, but she's also helping the person that actually destroyed her parents as well. The art is fantastic in this, and it moves pretty well, pretty fluid. So this is a really book I think you guys should really pick up. It's 7 volumes. Volume 1 goes on sale January 2009.
And about, Larry was saying that the writing seems more tips that we got about the movie script. The writer of this actually looked at the original MAHQ a little bit. So definitely the writing is really deep for this time.
This is G-High, and if you remember a few minutes ago talking about Fire Exchange, this is also by the same author of the series. I think maybe this one is yeah. Okay, just this year. And again, it's kind of a sort of another kind of dystopian future world. And the G-High is this wasteland, and nobody apparently can cross it except for this guy who actually works as a courier. He also is a clone, and he has only an 18-year lifespan. His time is running out. And in the time he has left, he's actually out to seek revenge on the person who murdered his best friend. And when he actually meets this person, things get a little bit more complicated than that. Again, kind of like Fire Exchange, there's a lot of science fiction adventure, but there's also like a lot of political intrigue that's involved, different factions who are competing with each other. He also kind of goes off and meets this group of almost kind of like super-powered young students. They all have different powers, and how this how that's going to interact with him, how he's going to be involved in it. This is a 3-volume series, and volume 1 is out in February. Capriccio. This is a kind of show romance. I just actually read this recently, and it's actually very funny. The premise of it sounds more serious than it is, but actually there's a lot of humor in it. And what we got here is a classic situation. We have a girl who's kind of a tomboy, and this boy who's her old friend who's kind of effeminate, and she's actually maybe a little condescending towards him that way. And when the series opens up, she's just been dumped by a guy who you get the impression that this happens to her quite a bit. So she kind of turns to her old friend Akira. I think we're disturbing her behind us. Yeah. So she actually has been taking musical lessons with Akira here since she was about 10, and he's like a real gifted prodigy. Very talented. And of course, as time goes by, she kind of turns things more emotional support, and very early on you get the impression that maybe there's going to be something happening to him, because he actually turns out to be a little bit more macho than we first led to believe. And a lot of that's played for comedic effect, but also, romance angle of it too. So this one comes out in the spring of 2009, and check it out. April? Okay. The decision was made right here. It's April 11th. Ballad of Shinigami. And this was originally based on a light novel in Japan, and it's also been adapted into an anime series. And we are presenting the manga for the first time. And this character here, Momo, she's a Shinigami. Not like maybe other Shinigamis you might be familiar with. She's wearing all white clothes, and she's very nice, and she's not really crazy about her job she has, which is kind of to get people over to the other side after they passed away. And what's really funny, she has this wisecracking little cat that hangs out with her, and and he's not real happy that she actually is like helping people, because that's not really what her job is supposed to be. And in the very first story, she meets this guy who can actually see her, so that's kind of a source of some mystery. Why is this happening? Why is this guy happening? Nobody can see her. So again, it kind of goes back and forth. There's some humorous stories. There's also very touching stories here, and very sweet and very simplified. This is going to be out next spring, unless you have more specific. Okay, that will hold on.
The series is called The Name of the Flower, and this revolves around an 18-year-old girl who loses both of her parents to a tragic car accident. She becomes so severely depressed that she's almost catatonic. And she's kind of bounced around between houses and doesn't really have a stable place to live until she moves in with this famous young novelist. And they don't really get on in the beginning because he's a bit moody and she's obviously very depressed, so they don't speak to each other very much. And until she starts tending his garden, and he's so impressed and kind of won over by her that they forge this relationship together. And four-volume series, and the first one comes out in January 9th.
Okay, so this is the first of two titles that we're actually announcing for the first time at this show, and both very excited about being on to the ends of the earth and sea. This is a one-shot. It's also a flex title, and it is an adaptation of a movie, which Funimation actually is releasing on DVD. So we're going to be doing a little cross-promotion with them. And it's basically the life story of Genghis Khan from when he was a young man until, of course, he becomes this very famous ruler. And it also kind of focuses around the rivalry he has with a friend of his he meets when he's very young, and the two of them eventually end up battling each other for control. Really terrific artwork in this, very, very cinematic. Of course, this is a movie adaptation, kind of a different thing for us to do, and that will be coming out in April 2009. Okay. Do you want to?
I usually have to give them Japanese lessons so they can pronounce the alternate. But in this in here, the artist's name is Nakaba.
So I have my glasses.
The last title we're talking about is called March Hunger, and this is another short 2-volume series. The premise sounds a little dark and depressing. It's about a young girl who loses both of her parents in a car accident, and so she's left with her sister and her sister's son, and then she loses her sister to a car accident. And so she's left to take care of her sister's son, her nephew. And it's basically about their little adventures together and how they kind of help each other out in life. It's humorous, and it's very, very, very cute. And there are a lot of emotions that fly around, but they're big and they're kind of exaggerated, so it's not as heavy as the premise makes it.
There's a lot of crying.
There is a lot of crying from the child, but...
And nice.
But very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. And that's coming out in March 2009.
So that's all the titles we have here for you today, but we also want to talk a little bit about CM Extra, which is our new monthly newsletter. I'm going to let Ed talk a little bit about that because he's been writing this for us, but I'll just tell you that if you go to our website, cmxmanga.com, there is a little place that you can link on for the newsletter. You can sign up there, leave your email, and it'll be emailed to you every month. So let's have Ed talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, we can see next week now, or just skip it and start with this month. So you know when we hopefully start with next month. What we focus on is basically giving you a look at CMX and what new hot titles are coming up, letting you know what's coming up in the next month, letting you know what any titles you missed in the past. For example, for example, this month we just had Shirley come out, and we were just reminding people to go back and take a look at them. If we have conventions, if we're going to conventions, which all of you were able to attend the convention, let's let you all know what we did, and give you a little look at, just CMX. Because I know most of the time we just don't necessarily get a chance to interact with editors and with people who are behind the scenes. And basically that's what I'm trying to do with the CMX newsletter. We're also hopefully going to have Ask CMX come back, so if you want to ask questions, we'll definitely answer those questions. Just make it a lot more interactive.
Yeah, if we had, we had an Emma contest at the Expo, we'll try to list the names of the people who won the contest, we'll do that kind of thing. And also, I just want to say, too, as a compliment to Ed, Ed does a really nice job of going, we have done some of our titles, we just sometimes able to get like a little brief description of them. And Ed will pick a couple of titles every time. And really, it's kind of, it's definitely, with a spin of his personal opinion on it, but we like Ed's opinion and we respect Ed's writing. And so, some of these titles you're not that familiar with, Ed will give you a little bit more insight into them. And hopefully, we'll give you a lot more.
Yeah, really, like I said, sometimes you can only get so much from reading that cover or getting a little blurb online. With CMX, you can actually get to see some of the staff's actual opinion about our comics. And fortunately, these are Manga doing masses, and these are titles for everybody. And we want to make sure to give you guys an example of why you should just run to these doors and just go buy a books every
So we're going to turn over to the question and answer soon, but I just want to mention a couple of things. If you've been by the booth, if you haven't been by the booth yet, we have a couple of giveaways. We had more, but there's only 2 left. I was going to tell you about our tattoos and 2 flyers for the dragon, but those are all gone. We've run out of CMX buttons, but we still have Shin-Chan samplers for your Shin-Chan fans out there who haven't been by and picked it up yet, please do. And also our CMX summer sampler. Most of the time, well, not all of them, but many of the titles we've discussed here today. So, that's it. If anybody has any questions? We've gone through that actually pretty quick.
I was wondering. All been recorded. I was wondering what criteria you use when you're selecting your manga for your lineups. Like, what is going to influence your choices in upcoming manga selections?
There's nothing, actually.
Oh.
Before I met Travis, I was actually a reader of his blog, and he was really good at writing like analysis how I would choose, and he does all kinds of things and think how I would choose, and that supposedly I'm happy when I'm not. And I'm more like a consumer, and I want to give you the book, here you go, you try it, tell me if you like it. It's more like this one. My response or reaction to the book itself, and I read it, if I like it, I want to get it. I don't want anyone else to get it. It's mine. So that's basically how I choose, because I think if I try to think this is going to work, this is going to make money, my crystal ball needs to be upgraded a little bit. It doesn't work that way. But if I like it, there's a chance that you will like it. because I'm really attracted to the story or art. And as you may know, we have a variety of books available from CMX, and I try to cover everyone. So that is basically it. I just want to choose different titles which everyone will enjoy, from young people to a little bit mature readers. That is basically what I want to achieve.
I think Asaka does a really good job of it too, by the way. She manages to find these little gems that people don't know about. And for example, she really exposed me to the work of Naruki Kusakawa, who we published 3 titles by. And as she well knows, I just really kind of fell in love with her work. And every time she comes in and says, "We haven't done the Naruki Kusakawa title," but yes, please, bring it here. And also Apothecary Sargentum, if any of you are familiar with that title. That was another Asaka find, and it's actually doing fairly well for us. It was a title that people are probably not familiar with before. So.
I'm coming a little bit late, but I was wondering that if you guys ever will release, because I noticed you guys are releasing the girls who go to the time. There's an anime of that. Is that ever going to get released later?
Yeah, the anime for the girls will do time. I believe the anime will be released by Bandai Entertainment later this year.
I wanted that one. The anime that you see from Bandai Entertainment, this is actually a spin-off of the original Girl Who Runs Through Time. And our manga is more true to the original novel from 1965. And the reason why I picked this one was I was a huge fan of the movie in the 80s in Japan. I was doing the school uniform and I used to go see the movie and I was really into it. And so when I saw the manga, I had to get it. This is mine.
By the way, when you ask me questions, you have to project. That microphone actually has nothing to do with volume. It's just recording the panel. So when you get up, you have to really kind of project to your question.
So listen to you guys. All right.
Is it really that unsafe to drive in Japan? I think it's just coincidence.
Rayon Shinchan was previously released in the U.S. from also, so I'm guessing it's completely new translation, right?
Yes.
Now that you're branching, now that you have a couple of science fiction titles in the works, do you ever think you might ever acquire a science fiction title that involves manga? I'm sorry, Mecha?
Mecha?
Like, no, if in the future, if you're looking at any titles, in the future, if you're looking at any titles that involve Mecha, like Gundam, not so much the Gundam per se, but like a series of Mecha in it.
I have to first read it, I have to like it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be, but I have to like it. Like, there is potential in reading, and if I think, well, I have to deliver this to our readers, of course. And I'm just alone reading manga all day long, and I don't work that fast. So you just have to wait a little bit.
Thank you. Kind of on the science fiction tip, we do have a couple of kind of tokusatsu type of stories. Kikaida being one of them, and Tokaida being kind of like a tokusatsu parody as well. So there are a lot of action, just next action. Especially Kikaida, so if you haven't picked up that, try that. I think you'll enjoy that. Thank you.
Well, you may hear something from us by video call from us.
Any other questions? Not really. I mean, those ones, Elves was unique because, the theme was elves and stripping elves. Unique piece of this puzzle. Go West is it is a comedy, and the comedy is very good at that. It's kind of like a drama, sort of. But I mean, it's really ingrained in humor, lots of slapstick, lots of visual gags, and mainly the humor comes from just the interactions, particularly with Naomi especially.
I
can guarantee no car accidents.
No car accidents.
No horse accidents.
Stagecoaches. Just forget.
It's just my impression, based on what you showed on the screen, that most of your protagonists are young and girls, mostly girls. And if that's the case, you purposely shy away from the male protagonist and also bringing in the story older people.
No. The licensing happens to be, it is not that simple. It takes time to acquire rights. And when we license something, we might get a bulk of shows up on time. And when I schedule something, it just happens to be more coincidental. So we try to acquire different things, like Astro Project is one thing, it's totally, I would say, more male, targeted, dog theme. It's not that I was avoiding it. But it depends on what you say as mature male readers. Is that more like violence level, sexuality level? I don't know what you mean by that, but I tried to bring the titles as more suitable for all ages. It just doesn't happen at the same time. It doesn't happen in the timing that I want.
Yeah, we built up a number of times with adult main characters as well. Something like Commando is one, 2.7 that's definitely built up a character lead. I really need to cover.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a deliberate editorial policy. It's like, as Socrates explaining, it's a matter of timing in some cases, meaning all of a sudden decide that we find out that like 6 titles are going to be for us to license because it's a long process, and those 6 titles could be 5 of them maybe happen to be with strong female protagonists, and then a couple of months later we think we'll do another title that may happen to be for copy-oriented or male oriented character. So it's really kind of coincidental actually, and not so much deliberate.
But even though we release new titles like every month, we still will have a list that includes all different genres. So if you look into Young Magician, we do have Young Magician, and we have Ariete or Dorothea, those are same and male titles, which are the backlist that we just didn't happen to announce today.
Right.
I mean, flat out.
So there's something for everyone in our library. I think if you just kind of explore a little bit, you'll be fine.
We are small but diversified.
Any other questions?
I know the last panel was not before you were saying, Art was not a favorite, all of it, it's okay for now?
It's still okay. It's still favorite now.
We just wish it sold a lot more. We're still, yeah. It's like to some discovered gem that I wish more people were blogging about.
What series is she asking about?
Oh, sorry.
She's on there, I go with love.
And that's actually exactly what those characters.
It's an old series from the 70s. Started in the 70s.
We can cosplay as the Michael or I am proud. That might help.
Capcom and really every single thing. And then his just hiring songs and
It's really funny, it's suspenseful, it's exciting, I mean, it covers all the bases, and they're based on Led Zeppelin. Anybody else? Yeah.
Alright, have you guys thought about making Manga
No, we'd love to. It's a tricky proposition. Maybe say something about it's difficult to do, because we don't. The relationships are usually managed by the Japanese publishers we work with, so the process of bringing them here is complicated.
Most of the amount of times authors do work on new titles which we don't want them to. But do you want to see a little more?
Also, with the
Take your suggestions.
I was wondering what each one of your favorite titles that CMX has already released is. If you could just tell us what you like best that you put out so far.
Mine's Emma.
It's a hard question to answer. I can't choose a favorite child. All the children.
It's hard when once I start talking about acquires these things and Jim Sarah brings me that design these things. I fall in love with each one of them, a little bit, just in their own way. So it is kind of a hard question to kind of say, but I do really do like Dakota. That's one of my favorite. I did like Samurai. Commando. That was a really fun series to work on. So there's a bunch that was really fun. They're all our babies.
We also had a great series called Chief Misaki that we did over so great. It's only 3 volumes.
And you have to know that all of us here, the read times of each book, each volume, and the amount of time we spend on each book is just so amazing. And of course, we feel so related to each book and each balloon and each character, and it's just the emotional relationship with each book is different and take is different. So I think Jim and Sarah especially spend a lot of time on each book.
And then they're always rotating in and out too, because most of our series like that comes to an end and you want to start up and another one's continuing. And so where your favorite book might vary from month to month, depending on what titles we have currently active.
Recipe for Victory is also.
Yeah, that was really nice thing, actually. I mean, the producing for me is just like, that's what CMX is about. It's just a title for everybody. Everybody should enjoy. It's just so well written, so easy to get emotionally attached to those characters.
I've noticed that a lot of your makes, I picked up a little sample before yesterday. A lot of the mangas so far that you've been writing are like socialite. Socialite. Like, it's I'm not even sure if your genre. You understand what socialite? Social, like, next to almost everything.
Like the real definition of social life? Is that what you're saying? Social life or social life? Yeah, I'm not really understanding the question.
I've noticed that a lot of your mixed games are like socialite games, like the new ones coming out, or a lot of yours like that.
Maybe you can explain what you mean by social life. I'm not sure what you're
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Drinking some scotch and going to parties and stuff like that.
That's not what I do.
And shit if you get it.
You kind of need more like slice of life.
Yes.
We do have two of those titles, but if you're looking at some of the books we announced today, like Black Earth Exchange or Actual Project, there's a real wide range. I mean, there's westerns, you've got sci-fi, you've got horror, romance, and stuff. I think that's one of the things we're really proud about. We've run the gamut as far as content is concerned. And if you do need a high action title, we have those too. Check the next episode.
I'm not worried more because what we're interested in is more like other style of life or other version of this and that, more like human interaction, I think. And that is why I'm more intrigued. What if, this happens in your life? And so it's not like this character is cooler than this one. It's not like that simple. And I think it's more readable that way if you can relate yourself to the characters in the story. And the story is readable, I know. I think that it's what's happening in the lineup for now. Because I just want to deliver something more story.
And actually, too, if you look at our entire library, the library really is made up of a lot of our personalities. When we're reading, some of these books, I see some of my co-workers' personalities in some of these books.
I'm not a writer.
Yeah. But seriously, I really do. And that tends to grow. So you see, a little bit of everyone's kind of, personality in the selections that are made, and that's why it's such a good cross of everything. And Jimmy.
Yeah, I think it's something that manga does really well, by the way. I think there are reasons why different people come to manga, but I think it's one thing that manga does that maybe, this is a generalization, that American comics don't do as often, which is basically write and tell stories about people's lives, which are interesting.
I'm very big fan of a new artist. So you might realize a lot of the books that we publish, maybe you have not heard about the artist. But I just feel it's very refreshing to bring a new artist because you don't know the pattern of the artist. So it gives you a new perspective by being artist.
Anybody else? Great. We are working on it right now, and I think it is
November. And the 7th is the last one, and that's coming out next year.
Back there.
I'm sorry. That's it. Going once, going twice. Okay. Thanks for coming, and stop by the booth if you're picking up your goodies left.
Damn these glasses, son. Yes, sir. I damn thee.
And welcome back, everybody, to day 4 and the conclusion of Gundamn at MAHQ at Comic-Con 2008. This is one of your hosts, Neil, along with
Sobro Ryu.
And we're just going to kind of cover up the last day of the Comic-Con here. Traditionally, it's kind of a low-end day, not too much going on. I know I was able to go to the Smallville panel first thing in the morning and was able to record that and got a lot of pictures. So anybody out there that's interested in that, we'll have the recording of the panel up there for everyone. And then Sobro and myself actually went to the CMX Manga panel, and nothing really Mecha related there, but they were just showing a lot of their new offerings that are coming out in the next couple of months, and kind of some interesting they had a question and answer period that was pretty interesting. Once again, talking about how they pick things and, some of the pitfalls and some of the things that they encounter with the American market for manga. So we were also able to record that. So anybody interested in that would, please take a listen. And Soulbro, you were able to get an interview with somebody?
Oh yeah. Since I practically lived at the Capcom booth that day. I was actually able.
You better buy that game.
I was actually able to talk to Ben Judd, who is the lead designer of I wouldn't say lead designer, but the head producer of the 2 Bionic Commando games that are coming out for the systems. One of them is called Bionic Commando Rearmed, which is a remix of the original Bionic Commando on the NES years ago. There's also an arcade game, but they're not remixing that. But the NES game was ahead of its time. It was an amazing game, and they went back and remixed the heck out of it. Also made it 2-player. But
they redrew it and everything.
They redrew it. It actually is going to be completely in 3D, but it's going to be 2D looking.
Oh, kind of like what they did with the Resident Evil game, the first Resident Evil.
Exactly, and it looks phenomenal. If anybody has the PSN network on your PS3 or Xbox Live, you can download the video of it, and it should be actually up this month. The game itself is due to come out sometime this month or next month, but then it's supposed to lead into the new Bionic Commando game, which is actually just called Bionic Commando, which is also coming out for the systems, and it's 10 years afterwards. He had gone on to explain that there is kind of there's 2 versions of Nathan Rad Spencer, who's the main character of both games. How he starts off very hopeful about the future in the first game, and he's the
You're not giving away the interview, are you?
No.
Okay.
But and then in the new game that's coming out, 10 years have passed, and now he's kind of world weary, and he's a bit bitter, and it's just pretty. It's just a cool
in a world.
But it was a very interesting interview. I was pretty nervous during it, and you guys will hear it. You guys will hear it or have already heard it by the time this episode will air. But it was cool. I played some more Street Fighter 4, as everybody knows, and we got a lot of cool collectible shots on the floor also that day. So
yeah. So basically, that was it for this year's Comic-Con. I guess. Soulbro, impressions for your first San Diego Comic-Con there. Is it everything you expected it to be, or?
It was an epic scale of a convention. I don't think I'll ever go to a convention that big. Well, maybe I will.
Yeah, never say never.
Never say never, because I'll end up eating my words like Crow. But I've never been to a convention of that scale, and I've been to quite a few. As you know, we went to MegaCon this year, and I always thought that was a pretty big convention.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but
it very much is.
I always remember Neo telling me that that this is nothing compared to Comic-Con, and he was right, because Comic-Con took up the entire convention center. The entire convention center. There's not one part of it that wasn't being used, save for maybe whatever utility rooms they had, but everything was in use. As for MegaCon, although in MegaCon's defense, it is in the second biggest convention center in the entire world.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I could easily see Comic-Con filling up that whole convention center too if they had full reign of it.
One of the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
It probably could. I would probably think the new part of the Orange County Convention Center, I could see it, filling that up. But who knows though too, because then you might lose the quality of what you're trying to offer too.
That is true. And on top of that, I doubt Comic-Con as a whole will probably move there, because the way it is, it's so close to Hollywood that the studios wouldn't even be there in the force that they would be at San Diego. So.
Oh yeah, no.
But
so I guess it was definitely something.
Impressive. And I love San Diego as a city too. It was a nice place to be. I love the transit system. We took pictures of that too. And, I mean, it was this nice experience.
Took pictures of the bums. The homeless, because there are homeless there, just like everywhere.
Just like everywhere, they pot-marked the streets. But no, it was awesome. You guys had give me a heads up beforehand, but man, I still wasn't ready. And then when we got there, it was an amazing experience, and I was just glad to spend it with you guys. And I also like to thank my brother, Dr. Encyclopedia Black. He actually took a lot of pictures during the convention that you guys have been looking at too, and he's in some of them too. He was there also, and he went there with Neo last year. But anyway, what were your thoughts of this year's convention?
Once again, just a very impressive, kind of showing. kind of boggles the mind sometimes that they're able to plan something like this so quickly. You know, you figure they only have about an 11-month turnaround.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure they've already planned the next one or have most of it planned, but
or to take pre-registrations.
Oh yeah. But you know, definitely a good showing. You know, one of those things where you go into it and you don't really feel overwhelmed when it comes to what you want to do. I mean, you feel overwhelmed because of all that stuff is there sometimes, but you know, it's run really well. You don't have to worry about you know, issues with other visitors or other attendees. You know, everything's done in a very orderly fashion, and you know, you feel pretty safe when it comes to all that. But only downside would be, and I'm sure everybody knows about this, is it was just very, very, very packed this year, and
which is a common complaint from everyone I've read. There's articles online,
but that's the secret of success. And you know what? I'm sure once they address it, and I'm sure that's something they'll address. But you know, we'll see what happens, and you know, I'm sure even when they address it, it may still be a problem because it's just a bigger and bigger thing, and it truly has taken over for just about everything. It seems like you know, it's basically grown from just a comic book convention to just a whole multi-mass media convention. I mean, everything is there, and so, but you know.
You think they might end up pulling an E3 with it?
Well,
probably
I mean,
not.
There was a lot more video game stuff there this year than there was last year.
Really? I was going to ask you that too.
And that's what I'm saying when it comes to the whole mass media thing. I think that because of the death of E3, you know, on the public side, you know, not on the professional side, but on the public side,
Comic-Con is probably inherited
it's taken over a lot of it. So
that's cool.
My only downside, the only complaint that I would have is that there was a lot less comic book vendors, it seemed like, this year than were last year. But
can't recall seeing many.
So, but I mean, that's not a big thing, and I'm sure these are all things they'll address. And you know, like everything has to get big, and then it'll probably die down again and be that simple little con that it was maybe 5-10 years ago. So
you think they may split the con up now? Well, if it gets too big, you think they might do it twice a year with like
well, there's a sister. They have a sister con for it.
WonderCon up in
San Francisco.
San Francisco. That's right.
I don't know. I mean, that's something you would have to ask the planning committee. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I don't see why they would have to.
Yeah.
I think that would be, kind of detrimental to, because you would lose a lot of people.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of people aren't able to do it. Would be able to do it twice a year. I mean,
and the second one could be a flop, while the first one, what everybody expects.
And it's going to depend on, how you split up things too. So, I don't know, but once again, it was just a good experience. I always enjoy going out to the West Coast, and it's always nice to go out there. And like Solbro said, the city's great. I've been to San Diego. This is like my 6th or 7th time now, so I mean, I've always enjoyed going out there. And so all the listeners out there that live in that area, thanks for having us, and we'll see you next year. Any closing things, Solbro?
I look forward to doing it next year as press. And hopefully Chris will be able to go too. I'm hoping that all three of us can go and get into some of these panels that we missed out this year as press, and just bring a lot more content back. So, but we got a lot this year. I can't complain.
Cannot
complain. Some of those big panels, especially if Robotech has a big panel next year for the live action movie.
Yeah.
Plus, with Cowboy Bebop being announced, and good old Keanu Reeves actually being the top contender for the role, that may end up being a big budget movie. You never know. So, a lot of anime adaptations are coming into effect for next year, and Comic-Con may be actually hosting a lot of panels for those, and I definitely want to get into that.
Well, I mean, it's still a year away, and
it is.
There's still a lot of stuff that is going this and that. But I mean, I'm sure no matter what, there'll be things to do and things to record and people to talk to. So, we just would like to thank all the people we were able to talk to, especially like Mark Simmons for taking the time to speak with us.
Oh yeah,
and
all the people that we
hopefully
had.
we'll be able to start bringing more of his insight later on in some further episodes of Gundam, and really kind of get the three of us sitting down with him and, you know, going over some things, especially once Double O and, you know, some of the other things start to go. But you know, once again, just, you know, thank you to all you guys that were responding on the boards, and, you know, this is the stuff we're trying to bring to you, so we'll do what we can. But you know, thank you again, and, you know, unless you have anything else, I'm just going to close her out.
No, I'm pretty solid. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.
And we'll be.
And any new listeners that have come to the show thanks to our visits to Comic-Con and the upcoming Yusumicon episode. But yeah.
And this is the final chapter of Gundam at MAHQ at Comic-Con 2008. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
On the battlefield, those who panic die first. Remember that.
Gundam! At MAHQ is a Shinjuku station, an MAHQ production.
I bought a donut and they gave me a receipt for the donut. I don't need a receipt for a donut. I'll just give you the money. You give me the donut. And the transaction. We don't need to bring ink and paper into this.